As the first rays of sunlight broke over the peaceful monastery, Ananda and his fellow disciples gathered once again for their morning teachings. Although dedicated to their spiritual practice, many of them were troubled by the persistent presence of suffering in their lives. Ananda, noticing the subtle signs of unease, took a deep breath and prepared to voice the questions that weighed on all their hearts.
Master, despite our efforts, we still encounter suffering. Can you help us understand why this happens?
Today, we shall explore the nature of suffering through the 5 skandhas, or aggregates. They represent the elements that shape our human experience. The term skandha can be understood as heap or bundle. These are like building blocks that form how we perceive ourselves and the world. To understand suffering, we must also understand samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, an endless loop marked by suffering. In samsara, we experience joyful moments, yet we are also confronted by pain and challenges. Understanding this cycle is vital to recognizing the source of our suffering. Now, let's examine the 5 skandhas one by one. The first skandha is form, which includes everything physical, your body, and the material world around you. Think of it like clay shaped into a pot, forming the vessel of your experiences. For instance, your favorite toy or the trees in this forest are all forms. Second, feelings, sensations of pleasure, pain, or neutrality. They influence how we respond to things, but they don't last long. Like how the bright colors of a sunset quickly disappear, our feelings can change rapidly too. When you taste sweet honey or feel the warmth of the sun, those are feelings. Third, perception. It allows us to interpret and categorize experiences, just as a painter chooses colors to create a picture. Our perception shapes the way we see the world. When you recognize your friend in a crowd, or understand that fire is hot, you're using perception.
The disciples listened carefully, identifying elements of their own lives interwoven in the Buddha's teachings.
Fourth, mental formations. These encompass our thoughts, intentions, and decisions. They are the seeds of our actions, which can lead to happiness or suffering, depending on how we cultivate them. When you decide to help a friend or choose to practice meditation, these are mental formations. Fifth, consciousness, the awareness that experiences everything. It is like a stage where the other skandhas perform, but it is not tied to any single skandha. It's what allows you to be aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings.
Master, how do the skandhas contribute to suffering and the cycle of samsara?
Attachment to these aggregates binds us to samsara. Imagine you have a favorite cup. You become so attached to it that you worry constantly about breaking it. This attachment causes you stress when others use it, sadness if it gets a small chip, and devastation if it breaks. By clinging to this cup, you've created suffering for yourself. If you can appreciate the cup without being attached to it, you can enjoy it fully while it lasts, and accept without suffering when it's gone.
As understanding dawned, the disciples realized that while the skandhas are part of their experience, they do not define their true selves.
By observing the skandhas without attachment, you open the door to liberation from samsara. Recognize them, but do not allow them to dictate your reality.
With hearts filled with gratitude, they return to their resting places, eager to embrace the insights of the next day. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. The journey to freedom from suffering starts with awareness. Can you think of an example from your own life for each skandha? How can understanding them help you manage emotions and suffering? Draw or write about a time you felt attached to a skandha. Then, imagine how the Buddha's teachings might change your perspective. Skandha, meaning, heap, or bundle. 5 skandhas are the building blocks of human experience. Consists of form, feeling, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. Represent how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. Samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. An endless loop of existence marked by suffering. Includes both joyful moments and painful experiences. Understanding samsara is key to recognizing the source of suffering.